Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. If you're just joining me, go ahead and subscribe below because I help you make things for your friends and family. Well, today we're going to do something a little different. Okay, it's the beginning of November, and what I want to do is help you guys get ready for the holiday season. So I'm going to work on the next few videos that are going to be showing you some gift ideas that can be great for anyone. All right, so we're gonna get started because today we're making several items from one video. I'm gonna give you some good ideas. Let's get started. I am going to put all of the descriptions below. I'm just going to sew because I'm going to be sewing a few different things in the video, okay? So you're gonna find all the descriptions below, and then I'll give you the links for everything that you need if I think you need something for it, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to work on are reusable face pads, all right? Everyone likes to clean their face. Everyone that you know that loves, to be eco-friendly, they're looking for different ways to use products that are reusable, okay? So that's what's gonna work. And look at this. Pretty cool green tree fabric. Your job when you are preparing gifts for your friends and family is to find fabric that you think they would like. Find fabric to suit them and then make them a product, an item that you think they could use, okay? All right, this project here, super simple, okay? These are great to make in sets, okay? Maybe one for each day, and then what you can do is you can tie it up with some raffia, okay? Put it into a jar that somebody can actually pick and just leave right on their bathroom counter. They can use it for makeup, removing makeup, or just cleaning their face with witch hazel, okay? For this particular one that I'm making right now, I am using cotton for the top layer. I'm using flannel for the inner, and I'm going to use flannel for the backing. You can use terry cloth for the backing. You can choose to use fleece. There's a few different, different types that you can use, okay? But flannel is soft, and that's what we want to go for, okay? So I'm putting my layers pretty side up. The flannel, I have 2 layers there for the softness. And I know you hardly ever see me sew like this, but we're putting pretty side facing out. The difference with the way that we're going to sew for this particular item is that we're going to put our machine right here. We're going to change our function. And what we want to do, if you don't have a serger, you actually want to change your stitching, and you can go on the zigzag stitch, or you can go on something like number 16. So change your stitching, nothing down there, okay? But if you don't have a serger, number 4 will be good. So just for today, I'll use number 4, okay? And we're going to sew right around the edges, okay? I'm sewing on 2.0, okay? My fabric is lined up. When you're doing circles, you are going around the circle, but you're still following the raw edge. Now, what I like to do is I like to go around twice to give, to ensure that the stitching is not going to come out. You can make your stitch length shorter if you would like to. Your stitches, that's an option. And that's it for that. Now what I like to do is I just cut around the outer circle. Now this is where if you have a serger, I know you're not watching this video because an experienced sewer would have a serger. But if you end up getting a serger, you will not have to cut edges like this. Okay. If you have a serger and been gifted it and don't know what it is, that's a whole nother fun thing for you to learn. It's good for finishing projects. So you see, all right, I have a little snag there. Okay, now you can actually, there's several different types of material you can use. I'm not going to iron it to flatten it out right now because I just want to save time. Okay, so I'm going to add that to my pile right there. So that's gift number 1. Gift number 2 that we're going to work on, okay, we are going to create something for the person that loves lip gloss or lipstick, or if their things just fall into the abyss of their bag. This right here, it's a chapstick holder. And so if you've seen my handbag videos, you know that I love accessories, creating accessories to match bags. And I always make a keychain holder that goes inside of the bags that I make. Well, the reason I do that is because I like to make things like this that matches the bag, where it can just clip right onto the keychain inside of it. That's what we're going to work on right now. All right. We're going to make them from scraps. Don't ever throw away the salvages of your fabrics. They will come in handy and be of great use to you for several different projects. Okay, so again, you're going to find the information down below as to the sizes that I'm using. I am just going to walk you through how to do it. Okay. All right, for this particular project, I have already just on one side of the fabric, I have placed my piece of interface already, just so that I didn't have to iron during the course of the video. Okay, so what we're going to do, pretty side to pretty side here. Okay, grab some pins. And these things that I'm showing you right now, they're also great. They're great stocking stuffers as well as gifts. Okay, so I'm sure you'll be able to find something for someone you love here. Okay, now what I'm going to do with this, we are going to sew, okay, all around. We're going to go, we're going to start in the middle of, one of the longer sides, go all the way around, and we're going to leave a portion open, one side, depending on what side you choose to leave open. Okay, so I'm starting in the middle. Oh, make sure I gotta turn my, I had to turn my stitching. Turn it back. With this same exact, these same exact dimensions, you're going to be able to make, you can make a bookmark with, okay? If you wanted to make this a little wider, the dimensions, this will also be able to fit sanitizer, a small bottle of hand sanitizer. So it has varied uses. Went all around the 3 sides, and now I am just closing this up. So you can do a rectangular bookmark for the book lover, okay? Or, like I said, if you want to make it a little wider, this is cut to 2 inches wide, but if you wanted to make it a little wider and follow the same exact instructions, it will be great for a sanitizer pouch, okay? I'm going to turn this right side out. All right. This is my dowel that I was using for something else. Okay, I'm gonna turn this right side out. If you've seen my video on book sleeves, the video that I made that can be a padded book sleeve or a tablet cover, then you've seen the bookmarks that I made. So you can easily follow these instructions just to give something as a, you know, just a little added bonus gift. Okay, if you do decide to make those book sleeves, you can give a bookmark. I'm going to flatten this out right here. Okay, to make it look good. I'm going to iron this side. I'm just going to roll this so that it's rolled nicely at the seam. Okay, good. All right. And now what I'm going to do, about 3 inches up, I'm going to lift this. Okay, go this side. I'm going to lift this up about 3 inches. And pretty much you just want to, you know, give it a little bit extra space from your chapstick. That's all. I'm going to finger press this right here. No need to iron it. Finger pressing that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an O-ring. You can use a D-ring. You can use a keychain if you want to, one with the lobster clasp, whatever you would like. But that slides right on here. I'm going to slide this right on. Okay, so you see, that's what's going to happen there. Okay, but for right now, we're going to put this underneath the machine. I'll pin this here so you can see it. I'll pin this the long way here. All right. You don't want to pin across because this is not a wide item, and you want to be able to not go over your pins. Okay, so I'm going to start and I'm going to sew all the way around, top stitching. You want to make sure you use coordinating thread. I'm not using coordinating thread right now, just because I don't want to take the time to switch the projects. You know what? Going to top stitch this right here first. Top stitch this bottom one. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you use coordinating thread. Okay. This is really ideal so that you know, someone that carries a lot in their bag, it's a great project. Okay, so now we're going to go all the way around. I'm going to start here at the top. We're going to be closing up the space that we left open. When you go over this portion here, just give it a little extra love because it's going to get a lot of use. The chapstick will be going in and out of it. Okay, I'm going to take this out. Now I'm going to do the other side. Give it some extra love. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and grab that O-ring now. Okay, I'm gonna grab that O-ring. I'm going to put it right inside of here, and all I'm going to do is fold this over, okay, right here, and I'm going to sew right across right there. Clipping stragglies. All right, I have a thing with stragglies. If you've watched my videos, you know that. All right, so as you can see, there you are. So, and there's a tiny bit of room there because if someone has longer chapstick, or if they, you know, want to put lipstick or the long essential roller. I have one that's peppermint that I also use that's good for headaches. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you can add that there. Let's go on to the next project. I'm going to show you how, for the book lover, you can create a bookmark, a squared bookmark. Okay, that goes right on here. You can make these for your children, you can make them for adults, doesn't matter. Okay, so let's do that. So for this particular video, I am using the following pieces right here, squares, and of course you don't need a pattern for this. You're going to use you need 3 squares, okay? Now what we're going to do for this one of those squares, okay, we are going to take and fold over, which I have already done, okay? And all I did was turned it into the triangle, but we want to adhere a piece of interface to one side of this, okay? So I'm just going to place this in here, and I'm going to iron on just on this one side. You don't need the interface on the entire piece, okay? Just on one side, just like that, okay? And now as you can see on here, what I have done is I've adhered interface to one side of this fabric. You do not need it on both sides, okay? So what we're going to do, I'd like for you to put your fabric face up, one side face up. Be sure to pay attention to your placement of your pattern, okay, to see which direction your patterns are going. Place the one piece that you're going to fold into that triangle, okay? You're going to place it on top in the corner of one of the squares, okay? The other piece, what you're going to do, which doesn't matter which part it is, place it right on top, face down, so that you have pretty side with pretty side, and that triangle right in the middle, okay? Right. This is obviously a rocket ship, so this is great for, you know, that child that loves space, or the adult. I've done a book bag for an adult out of this fabric before. Okay, so we want to go around 3 sides completely, but we want to leave a portion open. I do not recommend leaving a portion open where the triangle is, okay? So I'm going to leave a portion open down on this portion here, and I'll just put a pin here so you can see that. Okay, I'll just put the pins here. Not that I would normally pin something like this, but okay. All right, so I'm going to sew around these sides, leaving the middle open. Let's take this out. And I am sewing at 1/4 inch seam allowance. Guys, it's pouring here. You might hear the rain and the thunder in the video. It has been pouring for 2 days straight. Okay, let's see. I'm just watching my fingers. Okay. Okay. I can't stop the thunder because Florida thunder is crazy. So, all right, I'm back stitching. All right. Perfect. Gonna remove these pins, and what we want to do is, like what we do in all videos, is we clip out corners to get rid of the bulk. Clip it, And last but not least, all right, if you sewed your seams wide, go ahead and make them smaller so that it helps you to reduce the bulk, okay, if you have wide seams, okay. I left my hole, I don't leave wide holes, and I have big fingers, ha ha ha. Okay, there we go. All right, so poke those corners out. Poke, poke. If you don't have a chopstick, you can use the ending of like a pencil that has an eraser, but you don't want to use your scissors because you can actually poke a hole in your fabric with the beautiful stitches that you would have done. See, I need to get my corner. I need to get my my corner from there. Where? Okay, I cannot. It's probably on my other sewing table. Ooh, it is storming. That's Ida. All right, so we want to close up this space. We want to close up that hole right there. Okay, so just bring it in together, and if you made your seam allowances wide enough, it should naturally close. Okay, and we want to flatten this out. Flatten. All right, that corner, I got to get back in there, but okay. All right, so now what we want to do is we're going to put a top stitch all around because we're going to close that up, but also give it a nice decorative finish. Okay, you don't want too wide of a seam allowance. I really like for all of my top stitching to run close to the edge. I have a bag of fabrics. Well, I won't call them bag of fabrics. I'm going to call them a bag of scraps that I have been saving to work on a book quilt. And I had all these plans to finish the book quilt. But honestly, during quarantine, I didn't get to it. And so I am going to go through all of those fabrics and use some of them to make things for the holidays. So look at that. That's the pocket right there. I will show you how we want to use this. It's a rocket ship. And that's all. So that's it. Rocket ships. Just watch your pattern placement and think about, you know, what the person likes that you're making it for. Okay. All right, on to our next project. This could be coasters or mug rugs. What I love about these is that you can make matching sets of these. So you want to make them in about, four if you're giving them as a gift. But the coolest thing is that you can make them to match pot holders or oven mitts. You can also make them to match bowl holders. So if you haven't seen any of those videos that I've done, go ahead and take a look at them. If you make them a little larger, okay, these are what's called mug rugs. Okay, so if you've seen them online somewhere, mug rugs are a little bit wider and a little bit bigger. They're larger than coasters. Mug rugs can be, they can be 6 by 6, they can be 7 by 7, but the idea is that you have a cup of tea and be able to put something right next to that cup of tea, like a spoon or something. Okay, And so that's what we're going to work on right now. So for this particular project, I am using 2 pieces of scrap again, and I'm using some 100% cotton. You do not need to use any of the heating material that you would use in the oven mitts because you're not touching hot pots. These are just meant to be coasters. Okay, so again, came from my scraps. Okay, I'm going to put pretty side face up. I have 2 layers of the cotton batting. See, came from my scrap. Okay, pretty side facing up. This is pretty side and it's going to face down, and I'm just looking, okay, at my pattern placement for the letter writing. And so now what we want to do is we want to pin these together. I have made plenty of these over the years, and I find that 2 pieces of the cotton batting works really well. If you would like to, you can also use fleece inside. Fleece retains water, like it doesn't soak in the water, so it works really well, and a lot of my customers love them. Okay, so but I'm using cotton batting. I like to use cotton batting as well. Okay, oh, so what we want to do is we want to after you pin it, go ahead and sew around 3 sides. Leave any side open so that we can flip this right side out. This is they're really good. These are really good if you want to make matching sets, you know, to give, like with a bowl holder or the pot holder, because they are beginner projects, but it's also something that you can customize according to the person's kitchen or the holiday. You can get something, if you plan on seeing someone before the holidays, why not give them a full set in Christmas fabric? Because we all, when we're cooking for the holidays, I mean, I go through so many. I toss towels in the washer, and I go through multiple pot holders, you know, and when you're serving things, you know, you need multiple pot holders. So that will be a pretty nice gift. You could also do a plate warmer with using the same fabric. Remember, keeping with, you know, matching designs so that you don't give someone, you know, fabrics that are all, you know, that are mismatching. Unless, of course, they like that. And so I'm just reducing the bulk here. Okay, so let's turn it right side out. All right, right side out. These are wonderful beginner projects because so far we've just been working with, you know, squares and rectangles. I like to go through the Dollar Tree sometimes, and I like to just look and see what they have, and then I like to see on things that I would improve the quality of. Okay, so I poked out my corners, and now what I'm going to do, those corners poked out really well. I want to flatten this out for several reasons, because now that I have 2 layers through here, I want to give it, you know, just a little help with going through the machine when I'm top stitching. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to close up this the little area right here. So let me just make sure that that's flattened out good. Okay. We are going to close this up, but at the same time, what we want to do, without removing it from the machine at first, we're going to sew all around the 4 sides, and then when we come back to a corner, we're going to sew diagonal to create an X. This right here, when we're done with that first line, that's going to be when we actually remove the fabric from the machine in order to do the other X. The reason you want to do that is because it's going to there's a thunder. It's going to, 1, help reduce the bulk so that when a cup is placed on it, it's going to sit flat. But 2, when it gets washed, it's going to prevent the material inside from shifting. Okay? So what I did was, obviously I put my ruler from corner to corner, and I just created a line with my roller. If you have a marking pin, you can use that as well. I'm just using one of these marking tools here so that I know I get a straight line. Okay, so again, I'm starting in the corner. I'm gonna backstitch. I'm going 1/8 of an inch. I'm going close to the edge. Okay. Going right around. If you chose to use 2 layers of cotton batting, just go ahead and push it through. This right here, remember that presser, you can push it in, that black knob, and it helps you go over thick layers. You don't need your walking foot for this. Okay, I am back to the beginning, but I'm not going to remove my fabric. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to sew right down that diagonal line that I marked. I have some vendor friends. I'm going to sew the other line right now from corner to corner. I have some vendor friends, and we exchange gifts every holiday season. And I have one, she sells plants and herbs. So I was thinking, I haven't seen her a lot because, you know, because of COVID, but I was thinking I am going to make her, because I actually forgot I had this particular fabric until we got it out of the, until my daughter got it out of the scrap bin. But I can make her a whole set of things with this fabric. So that's pretty cool because she sells plants and herbs. So yes, that person that sells plants and herbs, you know, think about that special fabric for them. Okay, so here we are. That's finished there. Okay, you can make a set of 4, wrap it really pretty. Okay, and we have 2 more projects that we want to work on. Really, I'm telling you guys, when you have projects that you're done with, don't throw away the selvages, the end pieces. Those are those raw edges. Don't throw them away. Stuff them in a bag somewhere, because let me tell you, they come in handy. All of these things, these items that I'm making, came from selvages and raw edges on fabrics, you know, leftovers. Okay. Okay, so we're at this one now. These are hand warmers. Okay. These can serve different purposes. One, if you made them a little larger, okay, larger and wider, they can be a heating pad, like the therapy pad for your neck, or you know, for when you have pain and aches. Okay, also they can be used for if you have carpal tunnel, you know, if you're when you type a lot. Okay, so you can make them larger, or you can make one long one that you can keep by your computer. I have another vendor friend that I did that for. Okay, so all I'm using for this particular project, look at this, 2 scraps. That's all. 2 scraps of fabric that you can decide the size. But what we want to have, okay, you need some additional things for this, okay? So I'm going to be using, you can use oats for this, you can use flax seeds. Do some research. There's a few different options you can use. We put some essential oils in here and some lavender, some dried lavender. So it smells good, guys. If you don't know about essential oils, it's really good for calming. Oh, do some research on that because essential oils are great. Okay, but lavender in itself, I'll put that right there. We'll come back to that. Lavender in itself is good for calming and relaxation. Okay, if you have high blood pressure, yada yada, do some research. Okay, I'm not a doctor, but just do some research. You might like it. Okay, so I'm putting 2 pieces of fabric face down, pretty side to pretty side. All right, scraps, I love them. And remember, you can make this as wide as you want to. If you want to get fancy and do a neck piece with it, you know, to go around the neck, you can make it curved. My goal was just to go, like I said, through my bag and see what I could use. I am sewing around, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a portion open, of course. Okay. So the good thing about these, besides being hand warmers or like I said, if you make them larger for, you know, pain relief, you know, in a different shape, these can go in the freezer, or I'm cutting bulk with clipping corners, or they can actually go in the microwave. Now, you only want to microwave them on for about 1.5 minutes, but it will be super hot to the touch. Well, that's the purpose, right? Like instead of a water bottle heater. Okay, so I am turning this right side out. So like the bowl holder, when you make a bowl holder, okay, you want to make sure that anything that you're putting into the microwave, okay, that you're using all 100% cotton, okay? That means do not use any polyester thread when you're sewing these because they're warmers. They are meant to, you know, they're meant to go in the microwave and they're meant to get hot, okay? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just putting my funnel inside of here. Use whatever you need to, but let's see how much I scoop into a small one. This is 1/4 cup. It smells really good. I'm gonna shake it down a little bit. It's going down, and you want to fill it so that it's about 3/4 inch full. Okay. The funnel makes this a whole lot easier. You could, I mean, you could use like, I don't know, like a plastic cup or something, but the funnel is well worth it. Get it at the Dollar Tree. I will tell you, the first time I did these, I used I just rolled up a paper. That worked, but you know, we had a little bit of a mess. Okay, that's good. So I want to get those lavender things and get the dried lavender in. It smells so good. Okay. So I'll show you how much I have here. How about this much right there? So you can see. All right. It's about 3/4 of the way filled. All right. Look at my pattern placement. That just came out perfect. I didn't even notice that, and it was a scrap. Okay. And you know what we're going to do? The reason you don't want to fill it up too much is because you need to leave room for this to be closed and to go underneath the foot. There's my hole. I don't want to sew any more than what I actually have to. Okay. So make sure you use coordinating thread. I'm just like my finger was in the way. All right, and that's it. See, that was a square, rectangle. Okay, so if you make a few of these, okay, if you end up making a few of them, wrap them with raffia. You can put a nice tag on them, and then you'd have a pretty nice gift for someone that lives in the cold, for hand warmers before the kids go out to the bus stop. You know, you can give it to them, or, you know, for whatever reason you want. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. All right. On to the next and last thing for your scrap busters. Okay, we are right now going to do face mask, sleep mask. Can you tell everything has been masked through COVID? Okay, sleep masks. So these are great for that person that gets a migraine, that doesn't like sunlight, that, you know, maybe they enjoy road tripping but want to sleep in the car while someone else drives. Someone who just has light sensitivity. Okay, so yeah, sleep masks. Okay, so notice this is a child size right there, and then I have an adult size. Okay, all right. So for this particular project, we have an outer piece right here, outer fabric. We have one inner, well, no, we have the outer, we have the liner, and then we have a piece of fleece material that's going to go inside. The reason that we want this to go inside is because it makes it really nice and comfy and squishy, comfortable to be on the face. Okay, of course cotton goes on the face, but the fleece inside gives it some nice padding. Okay, you are also going to need some elastic for this. So if you've been making face masks, get that elastic out, because you're going to use it right now. Okay, all right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get that outer layer. We're going to take the elastic. We're going to put the elastic so that it rests right in the middle of the mask. Okay. I'm going to fold this up right here because I have a longer elastic. This is obviously an adult mask. Go ahead and grab the pretty side of your material that's going on the back. This portion is the side that's going on the face. Okay, so go ahead and put that right on top of the pretty side of the outer fabric. And now we're going to put on the fleece material. Okay, the comfy, nice, squishy fleece. Okay. All right. Pinning at the edge here. I'm pinning on top of the elastic. I know where the elastic is at. I'm pinning on top of the elastic so that I know the elastic won't move. Okay. All right, what I'm going to do now, we're going to sew. I'm going to start at the top. I want to leave my top portion open to flip this right side out because this is a flat edge as opposed to a curve. It's harder to turn it right side out on a curve. Okay, let's go all the way around. Back stitch. So you can use fleece or flannel, but again, if you're going to use flannel, you might want to use several layers. When you're going around the curve, you might want to consider making your stitches a little smaller, just because it's the nose portion area and you don't want wide stitches. It just doesn't turn well. Okay. Now, something that I'm going to do, that I do anytime I make eye masks, I go back over the end piece right here, the portion that holds the elastic. I go over that again because it's constantly getting wear and tear. It's constantly being pulled on and off the face. So you want to make sure, no one sees the inside of this, but you just want to make sure that you have secured those stitches. So it doesn't need to look pretty inside, okay? Because again, you're going to flip it, but it's nice to know that you've given it that little bit of extra love for the pull. Okay. I'm not too worried about those stragglies. All right, so you're almost at the end of your project, and what we're going to do right now, you want to, at the bottom curve, where you have your nose, okay, what you want to do is you want to snip around the curve. Anytime you're sewing anything around a curve, you want to snip into it. It helps the material lay flat when you turn it, to reduce bulk. Okay, so I'm just going around this entire thing just because obviously it's curved. Be careful that you do not cut into your stitch line. Okay, and when you go to turn this right side out, it will lay nice and flat. Of course, remember, you want to flatten it out with the iron. Okay, that's the top flat side. So we're going to turn it right side out from the outer, right in between the outer layer and the layer that sits on the face. All right, as you push it through, go ahead and use your fingers to smooth out the corners. Okay, smooth out the corners. And what we want to do is you want to grab your iron. We want to fold these under. You want to grab the iron. We're going to flatten this out, and we are going to close this up. I'm just tucking that under. I'm going to turn this way so I can see it. Okay. Wonderful. Look how nice the edges are when you actually clip the seams around the curve. They look really good. All right, just getting this portion right. Okay, I'm gonna iron this to flatten it out. Be careful you don't iron over your elastic because, you know, you don't want to burn it. And so you can maneuver it out the way. All right, I'm going to start at the top to close it up. We're going to go all the way around, top stitching 1/8 of an inch. Okay, sticking that straggly inside. Rawr. Okay. Stick it in, stick it in, stick it in. All right, here we go. And you should be top stitching everything you make. Notice I've decided to use 2.5. If you can see my stitches, I decided to use 2.5 because I'm going around the curves. Going slowly around the curve. That's the nose area. Top stitching holds down those seams. All right. And we have just completed multiple projects in this video using just scraps. Okay. There's a pretty cool eye mask. Okay, so we have a few different options for you to sew things with your scraps. Okay, of course there are many more, but I was just choosing, you know, trying to get things that you can use for children, for adults, you know, for anyone. And I am going to have additional videos that I'm going to put out, you know, between now and the holidays, so that you have options, things from bags to wine bottle. Anyway, you just watch the videos and you'll see. And I'm sure you're going to be able to find something that you can make for someone. All right. So if you have any questions, put them down below. And I'm going to see you for the next video with items that you can make that will take you about 30 minutes. Okay, bye guys, subscribe, like the video, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you back next time. Bye.